Sebastian is a genius scientist and the leader of a top-secret government research team. He's been struggling with a breakthrough on his current project. Just then, his neighbor comes home and begins undressing for a shower. Sebastian quietly watches through his window, but before she takes off the innerwear, she closes the blinds.
Damn it.
He walks around his room frustrated when a brilliant idea suddenly hits him. He tests it out immediately, and to his shock, it actually works. Excited, he calls Linda to tell her about the breakthrough and tells her to gather the team and meet him at the lab. Linda is Sebastian's colleague and also his ex-girlfriend, now secretly in a relationship with another colleague named Matt. At the lab, Matt is prepping an invisible gorilla for the test when the animal injures his arm and escapes. He chases it down the hallway and manages to tranquilize it. They tie the invisible gorilla onto a bed, and a red mysterious serum is drawn from the chamber. After tying a strap around its arm, they spray a violet substance to reveal the vein and inject the red serum into its body. The liquid travels straight to the heart, then spreads through the body's cells. As it circulates, the organs of the invisible gorilla begin to slowly reappear. Suddenly, the gorilla goes into shock. The monitors spike, alarms blaring, and the team grabs the cardiac paddles. They shock the heart multiple times until it finally stabilizes, and the gorilla fully regenerates back into its physical form. The room erupts as the team celebrates their success, a success they'll soon come to regret. A few days later, the team is invited to the Pentagon, a high-level government facility, to give a report on their progress. Sebastian tells the board that he has successfully created an invisible subject, but he lies about being able to reverse the effect of invisibility.
But we're close.
The board members express their disappointment. Outside, Matt and Linda confront him. He explains that he lied because if the board knew the truth, they would take the research away from them. They ask him what happens next, and he tells them they should move into phase 3, human testing. Sebastian wants to be the first person to experience invisibility, which is why he hid the truth. Back at the research lab, they lie to the rest of the team. They claim the board has approved human testing and that Sebastian has volunteered to be the subject.
I volunteered. They approved.
No way. You're kidding.
A few days later, the team prepares him for the experiment. After checking all his vitals, they pull a mysterious blue substance from the chamber, and Sebastian injects it into his own body. At first, nothing happens. The team fears the experiment has failed. Then Sebastian begins shaking violently on the bed. His skin starts to shred away, and he screams in agony. His heart rate spikes. The monitors beep wildly, and more of his cells disappear. He passes out as his skeletal structure fades from sight. After 24 long hours, he finally wakes up.
The lights! Turn off the goddamn light!
Can't close my eyes.
You can, but your eyelids are transparent.
As he walks into the room, only the echo of his voice gives away his presence. The team is impressed but also anxious. An invisible man is in the room, and they can't see him. One of them puts on the special goggles and playfully calls him out. After the long day, they send him to sleep in the lab. Everyone leaves except Sarah, who takes the night watch. Feeling tired, she eventually dozes off. The door to Sebastian's room opens, and he quietly walks up to her. He unbuttons her shirt, and the inappropriate happens. When she stirs awake, she nervously calls his name, but no one answers. She checks the thermal monitor to his room and sees that he is not on his bed. Seconds later, she watches him lie back down on the bed as if nothing happened. The next morning, she reports the incident to Linda and Matt, but is unsure because she thinks it might have been a dream.
Still not. I mean, I could have been dreaming.
Matt and Linda have a hard time believing Sebastian would do such a thing. They agree to question him, but unsure of what actually happened, she asks them not to. They simply check his vitals.
Sarah mentioned you weren't in your room last night. I was getting a cup of coffee.
The plan is to monitor him for 3 days, then reverse him back to his normal state. The days pass quickly, and after 3 days, the team prepares to reverse him back to normal. They pull out the red substance and inject it into his body. Just like with the gorilla, it moves toward his heart and spreads through his system. His organs and bones begin to reappear, but he suddenly goes into shock, shaking violently, far more violently than anticipated. He throws one team member across a table and kicks another in the face. They eventually manage to stabilize him, but he isn't breathing. They perform CPR on his half-humanoid state and finally get a pulse, but then his flesh and bones start fading again. The reversion process is a complete failure. With no way to bring him back, they decide to give him a temporary artificial body. They pour the synthetic liquid over his face, shaping it into a mask. They cut holes around the mouth so he can breathe and around the eyes for visibility. For the next few days, they desperately try to figure out what went wrong, but nothing works. They run multiple tests on him, and after 10 days, he can't take it anymore.
I was supposed to be in base ship for 3 days. It's been 10 days. You're needles.
That night, he pretends to go to sleep as usual, but he has other plans. Carter's on watch again, distracted by adult magazines. When Sebastian tries to leave the facility, Carter spots him and attempts to stop him, but Sebastian outranks him and shuts him down.
Well, that's the rule.
It's my rule.
I just changed.
forcing Carter to let him go.
I'll spend the rest of my life in this godforsaken dump!
Carter quickly calls Matt and Linda to tell them what happened, but by the time they respond, Sebastian is already long gone. He drives through the city for a while before returning to his apartment. Just as he steps inside, he sees his neighbor arriving home from work. As usual, she prepares to hop into the shower and closes the blinds, but this time, different thoughts begin to stir in Sebastian's mind. Thoughts of what he could do with his newfound ability. As she steps out of the shower, she hears repeated knocking on her door. When she opens it, no one is there. While she's checking the hallway, Sebastian quietly slips inside the apartment. She returns to her room and begins getting dressed in front of the mirror. Suddenly, the mirror tilts slightly. Thinking nothing of it, she adjusts it back into place, but then it tilts again, even harder. Confused, she looks around nervously. In the next moment, Sebastian grabs her, throws her onto the bed, and the unfortunate event takes place. Around the same time, Linda, responding to Carter's call, arrives at Sebastian's apartment. She finds his mask lying around, meaning he's invisible again. What she doesn't realize is the horrific incident that took place right next door. She returns to the lab and they begin preparing for a manhunt. But before they can act, Sebastian walks into the lab as if nothing has happened. When they question him, he pretends to be completely unaware of any wrongdoing. Linda and Matt threaten to report Sebastian to the board, and he is officially placed on lockdown.
So that's it, huh? I'm officially a fucking lab rat.
But over the next few days, the team begins to see the side effects of the monster they've accidentally created. After a while, Sebastian figures how to loop the video feed from the radiation monitor. That night, Frank is on watch. Sebastian slips out without Frank noticing. He goes straight to Linda's apartment and sees her in bed with Matt. Consumed with rage, he smashes the glass window. They rush over to look outside but see no one. Worried, they call Frank to check on Sebastian, but all he finds is the looped video of Sebastian sleeping peacefully in bed. When Sebastian returns to the lab, he paces back and forth furiously. The dog won't stop barking, and this only irritates him further.
Fire!
He decides to make sure it never barks again, ever. The next morning, the team's veterinarian, Sarah, finds the dog's remains and immediately questions Sebastian. He denies everything. They check the surveillance footage, and it shows he never left his room. But Sebastian's secret won't stay hidden for long. Later, Linda is alone in her apartment when she hears strange noises. Unsettled, she rushes back to the lab to check on Sebastian. The monitors show him asleep in bed again, but when she checks the actual room, the bed is empty. She discovers a looping device hidden behind the camera. She immediately calls everyone to the lab and explains what she found. Realizing Sebastian is completely out of control, they decide to come clean to the head of the committee. What they don't realize is that Sebastian is already there, silently listening to every word. After they leave, the committee leader prepares to call the generals and report the situation, but suddenly the phones stop working. Hearing a noise outside, he steps out to investigate. Sebastian steps out of nowhere and shoves him into the pool, holding him under until he drowns. Sebastian returns to the lab moments later, acting like nothing happened. What they don't realize is that Sebastian has already made up his mind. He's going to eliminate them one by one. The next day, Linda calls the director again, only to learn he's dead. She immediately tries calling the generals, but the line abruptly cuts. None of the phones are working anymore. Thinking it's a technical issue, they rush to report it to security. But when they reach the elevator, their access codes don't work.
Authorization invalid. Request denied.
Frank checks the system and discovers every code has been disabled, except one, Sebastian's. Frustrated, they decide to confront him. Janice stays behind to grab her goggles, and she becomes Sebastian's first victim. When they reach Sebastian's room, the only thing left on the bed is his mask. They call out to him through the speaker system, and he responds, revealing his plan to kill every one of them. That's when they realize Janice is missing. They rush to the other room and find someone hiding inside a locker. When they open it, Janice's body falls to the floor. Panic erupts immediately, and Sarah breaks down, blaming Linda and Matt for lying to the team and putting them all in danger. Left with no choice, they decide to hunt rather than be hunted. Both sides begin searching. Linda monitors movement through the thermal scanners and guides Matt and Carter towards Sebastian's position. Just as they get close, his heat signature suddenly disappears from the monitor. Using their goggles, they spot a glowing shape behind the pipes, but they don't realize it's just heat from a vent. Sebastian is actually above them. He grabs Carter and hurls him across the room. Carter slams into a metal beam, bleeding heavily. Sebastian then attacks Matt and tries to escape, but the automatic door closes before he can slip through. The heat blasting from the vents makes the goggles useless. Matt grabs a fire extinguisher and sprays it everywhere, giving himself a faint outline of Sebastian's shape, but it isn't enough. Sebastian overpowers him. Linda opens the door just in time, drags Matt back out, and slams it shut, trapping Sebastian behind the door for now. Meanwhile, Sarah is trying desperately to stabilize Carter, but he has lost too much blood. She runs to the storage room to get more blood bags, but the door suddenly locks behind her. Thinking fast, she tears all the bags open, splashing red across the floor to reveal Sebastian's footsteps. She throws the last bag, and it lands directly directly on him, outlining his body perfectly. But he overpowers her. He grabs her tranquilizer gun and fires it at her, knocking her unconscious. Then he snaps it, making Sarah his second victim. Carter, who has already bled out, becomes the third. With Sebastian alive, 3 of the team are dead, and only 3 remain. They rush to the storage room and find Sarah's body stuffed inside the freezer. Frank, who is standing guard outside, becomes the 4th victim, stabbed from behind. Matt is stabbed as well, though his wound isn't immediately fatal. Sebastian shuts the freezer door, locks them inside, and drops the temperature to -40°C, the same temperature conditions of an average polar bear. Then he leaves them there to die. At this point, things look grim for Linda and Matt. The temperature drops quickly, and Matt is fading fast. Linda tries to slow his bleeding using tape, but he begins to lose consciousness. Linda's survival instincts kick in. She grabs wires from various tools and constructs an improvised electromagnet. In the other room, Sebastian is working too, assembling several homemade explosives powerful enough to destroy the entire lab. He sets a 5-minute timer and prepares to make his exit. Linda attaches the electromagnet to the freezer door and forces it open from the outside. She pulls Matt out of the freezer and quickly lights a fire to warm him up. She grabs a gas canister and a lighter and heads after Sebastian. Just as he's about to leave through the elevator, Linda steps out of the shadows and ignites the flames, setting him ablaze. He screams, thrashing as she burns him again and again. He finally manages to escape through the corridors. The gas runs out, so she fires one last time at the smoke detector, triggering the sprinklers. What she doesn't realize is that Sebastian is already behind her. He grabs her and slams her to the ground. She struggles for breath. Just as her vision starts to fade, Matt staggers in from behind and strikes Sebastian, knocking him off her. They try to flee, but Sebastian lunges again with the crowbar. And during the struggle, the crowbar jams into an exposed power line. Electricity surges through Sebastian's body like a lightning strike. The shock tears through every cell in him, even bringing his body into half regeneration. And the once almighty Sebastian is finally down, for now. They find the explosives, but the timer is almost out. There's no time to disarm it. They run for the elevator shaft, climb onto the maintenance hatch, and scramble up the emergency staircase. The explosion hits seconds later. It's so powerful it launches the entire elevator upward like a rocket. The metal box shoots toward them, and they jump to the sides just in time. The elevator slams past, but then drops back down at terrifying speed, stopping only inches from crushing them. As they climb upward, a hand suddenly grabs Linda's ankle. Sebastian, burned, mangled, barely recognizable, still alive, still trying. The desperate final grasp of a man who refuses to die. He drags her down, and both fall onto the damaged elevator. It breaks loose and plummets, but a cable catches it at the last moment. Matt tries to help, but part of the staircase collapses beneath him. Sebastian, staring at Linda through his ruined face, whispers for a kiss. She pretends to indulge him, then grabs the cable and unhooks it. The cable snaps, the elevator drops, and Sebastian plunges into the fire below, consumed completely. Linda climbs up, Matt helps her through, and together they escape the burning facility as emergency responders arrive. They are the last survivors of the Invisibility Project, and hopefully the proof humanity needs to never pursue such a dangerous ability ever again. And that's a wrap. Like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.